Chapter 3 Back in the Day. Yo, I popped into this world in November '82 at Luton and Dunstable Hospital, aka the L&D. Got an older bro, just a year and a half ahead of me. Most of my early memories? All about my mom. She was with my bio dad, Malcolm Yaxley, but they split not long after I was born. At one point, she told me we had to crash at a women's shelter, just the three of us. I remember Malcolm later on, but we never called him Dad. He was just Malcolm, pulling up for birthdays, Christmas, and the occasional random visit. Super awkward. But then Tommy Lennon pulled up when I was 2, and from that moment, he was Dad. Malcolm? Just some dude who showed up with gifts once or twice a year. He flexed hard with his sports cars, pulling up to school events like he was some VIP. But low-key, dude was toxic. Heard plenty of stories about how cruel he was. He eventually dipped for good when I was around 11, and a while back, I found out he passed. Oh well. Flash forward to the early days of the EDL. I was keeping a low profile, but the Times went full FBI mode on me. Some journalist, Stephen Bird, tracked me down at the Parrot Pub in Farley Hill and dropped some random bombshell. Malcolm was living in Bulgaria. News to me. I was like, yo, put his name in the article. Malcolm Yaxley. Let's see if it stirs the pot. Thought it'd be funny if people hit him up like, bro, what's your son doing? When I became a dad myself, I ditched the Yaxley name. My mom told me Malcolm had passed, but IDK how she found out. Looked him up a couple times, but honestly, zero feelings. If I ever ran into him, I probably would have given him an earful. DNA doesn't make a dad. Tommy Lennon does. Now my mom, Rita Carroll, is full-on Irish. Grew up in a huge Irish Catholic fam, one of 8 kids. She's tiny, which probs explains why I stopped growing at 14, capping at 5'6" with main character energy. She and Tommy grinded hard for us. Tommy was a specialist pipe fitter, always on the road, so Mom was the real MVP, running the house while also being a childminder and foster carer. We lived in Stopsley on Layham Drive, and I went to Wigmore Junior School. First clear memory? Almost respawning from a major asthma attack when I was 2. A neighbor literally jumped the fence and brought me back. I swear I remember the ambulance ride, but my fam calls cap. Either way, asthma had me in a chokehold as a kid. Our house? Owned. Mom and Tommy made it work. We were tight with my Auntie June and Uncle Bill over in Farley Hill. At one point, we even crashed at their place while waiting for our new home to be built. Real fam vibes. Cousins always rolling deep. Childhood was a vibe. We were outside 24/7, building dens, scouring the woods for planks, and DIYing tree houses like future engineers. Mom had curfews on lock, but we still found ways to be little menaces. By my early teens, I was obsessed with motorbikes, thanks to this flashy neighbor who had a Lotus, a Ferrari, and a Ducati. My dad finally caved and got us some trials bikes, but we were sneaky. Whenever the parents weren't home, we were out there, zooming through the estate, causing chaos. I'll never forget when Princess Diana passed. Mom went to watch her funeral, and we took full advantage, ripping around on the bikes like we were in Fast and Furious Luton Edition. Looking back, Luton was always a mashup of different people and cultures. At the time, it was just normal life. But later, I realized it was setting the stage for some of the wild stuff I'd experienced down the road.